welcome back to my kitchen. So today I have decided to do ravioli. I have friends coming up for dinner and I decided to do two kinds of ravioli because one of my friends doesn't like fish, the other one does. So I'm going to prepare ravioli with pumpkin and shrimps for those who like fish. And then the second batch is going to be ravioli with pumpkin and sausage. So what will you need? Well, I have made things a little easier for you. So you will need pumpkin, and this is the pumpkin with sausage. So what I had is butternut squash, and then I had sausage, cheese, and I used both Parmesan cheese and cream cheese, and then I used parsley. For the filling with shrimps, it's pretty much the same thing, except that instead of using sausage, I used shrimps and I chopped them. Both of them have been dressed with salt and pepper and nutmeg, and a little bit of red pepper flakes. Then I have to make the dough. I have to make the ravioli, so the pasta. What do you need for the ravioli? You will need all-purpose flour. You will need eggs and a tiny little bit of water, depending on how the dough is. And usually the ratio is 100 grams of flour per egg. So I am going to do 3 eggs, so 300 grams, because roughly it is 1 egg per person. It's going to be the 3 of us. So I am going to do 300 grams of flour and eggs. Now I am starting to work the dough for the pasta, and I'm showing you I have put the eggs, 3 eggs, and I use organic eggs that come from a farm. And now I am going to work the dough. It's the same thing I've done in another lesson. So you basically have to be very gentle using your hands, and I use my right hand because that's my dominant hand. And then I really just gently incorporate little by little, break the eggs with my fingers, and little by little incorporate the flour. It's going to stick to your fingers, but just be patient. So see, this is how it's starting to look. This is a good point to add just a tiny little bit of water, but really a touch. And you want to do that to collect the crumbles that are at the bottom of the bowl. You see, this is, now I can use it. I can put a little bit of flour, I can dust my countertop and put the dough on the countertop. And I have worked the dough, and it looks pretty and it looks elastic enough. What I need to do now is to let it rest for about 20 minutes before I roll it and create the sheets that I will need to create the ravioli. 30 minutes have passed, and so now I can start making the sheets to prepare the ravioli. So this is the pasta maker, the pasta machine, and it's one of the most traditional ones. It's mechanical, and it's by Imperia, which is, you can see the brand over there. For the ravioli, you want to have a very thin sheet of lasagna because it's all about the filling. It's not really much about the pasta itself. So here I go. I am putting the first sheet in, and this is the first level of thickness. I do it twice. There you go, and then I can start making it thinner. It's a very thin layer of pasta, as you see. You can almost see through. And now I'm gonna make the ravioli. I have a mold, and this mold is the same brand as the pasta machine, and they come in several forms. This is a pretty big size ravioli with a round filling. I also have a triangular one so that I can, differentiate the ones with shrimps with the ones with sausage. So I'm going to start with the shrimp first. I am going to lay my sheet in the mold, and I am going to put a little bit of filling, not too much. You don't want to put too much because otherwise when you roll it, then it becomes complicated. And here I am filling the ravioli. So I take a little bit of filling and I put it right in the middle. Another little bit of filling right in the middle, not too much, little bit of filling. This is my first sheet. Now what I need to do, I need to make sure that it seals. So I am using a little bit of water and a brush to wet the edges of the dough so that it will seal. Then I get the other sheet of the dough that I have prepared, if I can, and I put it over. It spills, which is great. And then I press it down, and I use this little guy to roll it gently at the beginning because I don't want wrinkles. And then a little bit more intensively. See, now you can see the edges of the ravioli in the mold. And I can peel it off. And here they are, my beautiful ravioli. And now I am making the other ravioli, the ravioli with the sausage filling. So I've switched the mold to the triangular one, and I am going to start filling those babies. The triangular ones are tinier, so I really need to put not too much filling. I'm gonna do a little bit of water wash so that I am sure they stick. And I'm gonna cover them nicely and press. Same as did before, I'm using the little rolling pin that comes with the mold. And here they are out of the mold. As you can see, they are triangular and they have the sausage filling. And here they are, my beautiful ravioli. Both the one with the shrimp and pumpkin filling, that are the square one with the round filling area, and the ones with the pumpkin and the sausage that are behind those in the triangular shape. So I am not going to cook it because I'm waiting for my guests. But I hope you will make them and I hope you will enjoy them. In order to cook them, you have to put boiling water and cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes tops. The pasta is very thin, so it doesn't take a lot to cook. Enjoy!